So just to provide a little bit of context, Ukraine is losing the war, and that's just a fact. They have been losing ever since this conflict began, irrespective of all of the weapons and money that they've received, and the propaganda promulgating his news that you've heard. And the reality is that Trump has squeezed the Europeans and Britain out, as well as Ukraine, out of the conversation about peace. They're seen as an impediment to peace. So we're at this point now, and the current state of affairs is a suggestion of a ceasefire was made for 30 days, which Mr. Putin said, thank you, but no thank you. This was being done at the same time that the Europeans and the British, led by France and Britain, were going around holding conversations with other countries to talk about the fact that they wanted to see peacekeeping troops enter into this conflict. In the meantime, they weren't invited to any of the top-level talks. They just had separate meetings where they drank tea and had bourbons and then were just shuffled out the side door, only to be yapping in their local presses, or being yapped about by those individuals who have to write those stories. Otherwise, their rags don't get any sales. Now, what happened was that Mr. Putin said, I'm not really accepting this ceasefire. You need to address the underlying conditions of the war, which, as far as I'm aware, the special military operation made very clear, which was the denazification of the Ukraine, the demilitarization of Ukraine, for Ukraine to remain neutral, and for no longer for it to pose a threat to Russia on its western border. Those are the only conditions that Mr. Putin has laid down, and those are the conditions that he needs to have met.